Whitehorse's Joe Sparling is a local boy who can trace his Yukon roots all the way back to 1900, when his Swedish grandfather arrived in the Klondike to search for riches as a gold panner. Joe received his undergraduate degree as well as his private pilot's license in 1972, followed by an MBA and a commercial license shortly thereafter. With a partner, Joe founded Air North in 1977 as a bush flying charter service for the local mining industry. Since then, it has grown steadily into the Air North we know today, an anomaly among air carriers in the region. It is the only one of the smaller national carriers to operate jet airplanes as opposed to its piston-driven competitors, leaving the flying public to speculate if this is a small company that happens to fly big planes or a jet airline with small overhead. Air North has lofty ambitions. Its intention is to take on the Goliath Air Canada for a share of the Western market. We found Joe working away in his modest office, and we asked him how his small airline can compete against the big boys.
When we contemplated, John, starting this venture, we knew that it was going to be a huge challenge going into a market that was dominated by the largest carrier in the country. We knew that there were areas in which we couldn't possibly be competitive with somebody the size of Air Canada, but we also knew there were areas that they couldn't compete with us very well, and we needed to find our niche. We needed to acknowledge their strengths and stay away from them, and we needed to capitalize on our strengths. Our strength is local market support. We felt that we could put a product out there that would be well received in the Yukon market by people that live in the Yukon and people coming to visit the Yukon. We structured an alliance with the Vuntut-Gwitchin First Nation from Old Crow. They are 49% owner of the company. I think in today's world in the North, the First Nations are an emerging force in the economy. I think we have a great partnership with them. We have almost 600 local Yukon investors who invested in the company through the Yukon Small Business Investment Tax Credit Program. They're investors in the company. They provided valuable equity funds, but more importantly, they provided us with a loyal and dedicated customer base. And those shareholders, along with their friends, family, and business associates, are all Air North travelers. And it certainly gave us an increased comfort level going into what we knew was going to be a very tough competitive market.
With 60 dedicated employees and routes that have expanded out of the Yukon and into British Columbia, Alberta, and the U.S., Joe Sparling must be doing something right. In fact, he earned the 2003 Business Person of the Year award from the Yukon Chamber of Commerce. Joe knows full well that any business is only as good as its employees, and he readily gives credit where credit is due.
Well, you got to have a great team of employees, and they really have to function as a team in order to be successful. We've been fantastically lucky here. We've got several employees who have been with us for 20 years plus, and lots more that have been with us for quite a few years. We have people that have started with us, pilots that have started with us working as flight attendants on the ramp in cargo, and they've worked their way up to Boeing captains and first officers.
If this airline seems more like a close-knit family than your average corporation, it's because in part it really is. Joe's wife, Deborah Ryan, is the director of marketing for Air North, and together they are running and promoting the little airline that could as much as possible.
We need to get a few more people on our airplanes yet, and we need to get yields up a little bit. In our first year, we're experiencing probably a higher proportion of lower yield travelers, economy travelers. Need to get the business traffic up a little bit, and we need to get just a few more people on each flight also. Everybody in the Yukon knows who we are, but outside the Yukon, we're not that well known yet.
Through customer loyalty and steady yet ambitious management, Joe Sparling is making Air North's reputation soar. To purchase your own copy of the Canadian Biography Moments, visit us at www.wingsovercanada.ca/store or give us a call at 1-866-909-4647.